What's up, guys? Welcome to our debrief. This is our last time here in the U.S., in Illinois, in Chicago. We're actually going to Thailand in a couple weeks, so our next debrief is going to be in Thailand. So in this episode, we're going to talk about a little bit about our experience getting to Thailand, and then also how it is nursing in Chicago for anybody out there that wants to actually come here and become a travel nurse.
I think this is a good time to introduce our Asian names for how we should be referred to after leaving the Northern Hemisphere after this debrief. What's your name?
So according to my calculations, it'll be Pyong Fin, my translation.
Okay, mine is going to be Matsu Suli.
Dude, it's interesting because we thought about those names like years ago. So it's like, now I actually might use them. I might just say that around. That's what my name is.
And shout out to anybody that's listening to this that heard about this like 50 episodes ago and know what's going on. You guys are the real MVPs for listening to us.
Yeah. And then also, guys, if you want to hop on a debrief, we're going to be in Thailand. For anybody out there who wants to share how their nursing day went, how it is on the unit, just wants to talk about nursing, you can hop on the show and talk with us, share what stresses you out, share what happened, just, the good times, the bad times. We're open to all discussion. You did drama.
Yeah, cool. Let's go, guys. You don't have to be anybody that's well-spoken or needs to communicate. Just hop on and chat with us. It'll be a quick, easy DM or email us, comment anywhere. We'll send you a link. You can book it. We'll chat with us. Have a good time.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so we're back in Chicago, guys, and we're actually thinking about how nursing was for us when we were actually here in Chicago. A good parts of our careers, we were nurses here in Chicago during the summer months, the winter months. We're from here. So our experience differs from the experience that we had here in Chicago versus everywhere else. So I know Chicago is like a nice destination. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think it's the most beautiful city. I remember going to New York as a kid. And then, of course, I've seen LA. I've seen Austin, Texas. I've seen Dallas, a good portion of California. So, and I still think that Chicago is still a nice city. Like at the nighttime, during the daytime, it's just a little bit cleaner than all the other cities. And it's got some nice skyscrapers. And you got the lake.
Yeah, just beautiful skyline, Navy Pier. It's always a city to go to. Delicious food, the nightlife, just like you said. And yeah, so when it comes to if anybody wants to travel nurse here, we started here, so we know how it is. One of the things, of course, compared to Cali, like it's such more laid back. Being there, you're not going to have your lunches and breaks and having that time to unwind. Last year I just did some agency work at two hospitals. They are not the gold standard because, of course, they're hiring agency nurses, so they have bad retention. But I had one little 30-minute break and I had to watch somebody's patients. So it was a day shift. It's going to be busy. There's less resources versus other states. We just know Texas, Illinois, and California. But versus Cali, yeah, you're not going to have those breaks, resources. But as far as like nursing and overall what happens, it's pretty similar. You're going to have the same populations depending on where you go. We do have the homeless, and there's like the hood parts of like the Chicago, if you travel nurse there. The trauma units are filled with things because, of course, Chicago has a lot of, violence of crime. So,
yeah, I'm trying to reflect on the unit dynamics when I was here. So where I worked here was like the southern Chicagoland area. I did a step down for a little bit, then I did the ICU for the rest of my career as a staff nurse. And it's cool because working where we did in San Diego, everyone was very helpful for any kind of little thing. And when I was working here before as a staff nurse, it was more, people were helpful, but I want to say people were a little more critically ill. So you had a lot of shit to do for your patients. And kind of when the unit kind of bonded, it was usually when shit's going down. Everyone came to help because you're so busy with your own shit where you don't really have enough time necessarily to always help another nurse out with whatever they're doing, because you're doing numbers a lot. You're looking at different human dynamics. It's just a lot of stuff going on. We had LVADs, things like that, transplant patients. So you have a lot of solo work to do. And whatever solo work you have to do, that's when you kind of came out. And that was usually when there's an emergency happening because you're like, oh shit, I got to help somebody out. And that's like when you really bonded compared to over like for here where you used to work. It was like you're boosting a patient, clean somebody up, and you're taking your time sometimes because why not take your time?
Yeah, so
you're trying to bathe the patient, So and like you kind of conversed over that compared to here where it was like it's more stuff's going down, has to be done, and you're kind of hanging out, shooting the shit while you're like teams doing all that crazy stuff.
Helping out. Yeah, I think it doesn't matter where you work sometimes or what state. It just comes down to those unit dynamics and how the unit culture is. that makes or breaks your experience. And even as travel nurses, it is going to be a huge factor whether we had a good contract or not.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then kind of, you want to jump into Thailand? Anything else you want to reflect on as far as nursing in Chicago versus other states?
I mean, just non-union based stuff. So like you were saying, you touched upon that you're gonna probably be eating your lunch at the nurse's station, and I know doesn't feel like that big of a deal if that's what you're used to. But then when you go to like California, you're just like, damn, so this is actually possible. Like I could actually have a break. I could actually sit down. I could actually eat my food in peace instead of having to eat at a nurse's station where you got to get up in between meals because you're going to check on your stuff, because if you hear an alarm going off and you're eating by your desk, you're just going to go and attend to it. Versus if you hear it, maybe, I mean, you won't hear it on break. They'll just tell you that it happened. So things like that.
And then as far as like outside of nursing, I just thought about it. In Chicago, you have to be aware of the seasons. We have different seasons, different parts of the day. We're recording in December right now, and it's 45 degrees. It feels like a day in San Diego with a nice cool breeze. So summertime, great place to hang out, have good food. It does become hot where there's high humidity here. So if you're somebody who doesn't like sweating, that's going to be an issue. Fall's beautiful, and spring in between those days, the weather is amazing. Doesn't get too hot. And then winter, of course, we have like 5 months of winter. Sometimes it gets cold. We just hit like -24 over Christmas with the wind chills. So it's brutal.
Now it's in the 50s.
Exactly. So Mother Nature fluctuates here a lot. But if you're somebody that enjoys winter, wants to get an experience, it's a beautiful city in the winter. And then also maybe you're just trying to focus on being more at home instead of going out and seeing nature because you were in a different contract or a different state. Chicago's a cool place to just hone in and grind, or whatever you have to do, just be more of a homebody in the winter months.
Yeah. Living here has definitely made me appreciate different seasons. They're all beautiful in their own ways. It just, the cold sucks. It's nice when it snows, but it sucks when it's cold. So that's exactly why we're leaving and going to Thailand.
Hell yeah, man. I'm excited for that. And this is something we've been planning for about a year, I would say.
Yeah.
Beginning of this year, we wanted to, beginning of 2022. And now we just did our planning. The main thing we did first is explore why we want to choose the city. Phuket, I think you guys brought up, you guys are big into Muay Thai. I want to learn Muay Thai. I'm going to go there and do all that, plus jiu-jitsu. So we're just going to train there and have fun while also visit another continent. Thailand is very Buddhist, has beautiful cities and temples to visit, so we want to understand the culture. And also the perk with travel nursing, we just take 2 months off. No boss is telling me I'd have enough PTO, or there's somebody with seniority requesting those days off. That's it. We're going to Thailand, and we'll see what it's about.
Yeah, and on our own schedule too. That's gonna be wonderful. It's gonna be wonderful. Coming off the last contract where we had nothing our way to schedule, now it's like free reign. Super clutch. It's also a beach town, so that's pretty cool because it's probably going to be maybe like a San Diego vibe, but in Thailandian way, you could say. We're going Phuket, so it's a more coastal area. So we plan on hopefully learning how to surf and also scuba dive potentially.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, go ahead.
I was going to and also I looked up stuff for snorkeling where you just hold your breath and go into those little coral reefs, whatever. I want to get into that.
Oh, what is that? There's like a name for that where you hold your breath for super long. You know how to hold your breath? And you just dive with holding your breath and you go super deep. There's a thing like that.
Get into that sport, I'm down.
Yeah,
give it a try.
We gotta practice, bro.
Yeah,
just in case. Because if you want to get, we just talked about before the episode. If you're gonna get we're gonna have a scuba diving license or the scuba license
to get certified. Yeah,
to get certified. Yeah, scuba certified. I'm telling you, we're probably running into some serious animals, and it's probably gonna be beneficial for us to learn how to hold our breath for a long time.
Yeah,
in case something happens, oxygen, things like that. And we also gotta learn the pressures. Because you know how you gotta pop your eardrums or something, or you die?
Equalize the pressure.
Yeah, last day we were in Catalina Island. I remember we're having to do that, and you gotta depressurize yourself or whatever that means, because you could have a stroke, and it's like no shit. Yeah, especially if you're fatter, if you're heavier, you have a higher likelihood of that happening too. So you gotta be careful as a person. Yeah.
And also, we know how beautiful it is having a multicultural experience, like being from Poland and all that. So we want to experience the Asian continent, the food, the culture, the natives. Not only be in the large city of Phuket, but also go to other cities more inland. Bangkok's out of the picture next. I'm thinking more about the small cities to see the dirt roads, swim with some elephants and feed them, or hang out with them.
So with elephants, huh?
I'm sure elephants know how to, wash the back in the river and the lake, that kind of stuff.
I saw an elephant kill a crocodile this morning. If you're interested in how it goes
Animal
down.
Planet, or you have a YouTube channel?
It was I think it was on the gram or YouTube. Maybe it was on YouTube. I don't know, one or the other.
Nature's Metal.
It was probably Nature's Metal. Yeah. But they're serious, bro. That and hippopotamuses. Hippopotamuses are dangerous. I think hippopotamuses kill more people a year than any other animal.
Yeah.
Is that crazy? Because the things, they don't look too bad, but they're quick.
And then it's cool because we're having all this time to also focus on other things that we're building in the back end that we'll be talking about more soon. We're still going to be recording with guests and all this fun stuff. So opposite schedules, we're going to be either recording early morning or early night there. So that's going to be a change of pace.
And the vlogs too. We're trying to bring back the vlogs. I'm not sure if y'all know or haven't maybe looked at them for a minute, but we literally have vlogs of the Pacific Northwest. During a couple years ago, we did a lot of traveling all around the western side of the United States. So we have those. So we're trying to bring those back just because why not just vlog it? Have a good time. We might not ever be there again. So let's just try it out.
Yeah, next thing you know, we're going to have kiddos going to Thailand, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe like do it for a charity thing, bro.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to have kids. No, not my kids.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
What else? Also in Thailand, perfect time to kind of talk about this is running the show soon, is we just thought about before the show about case studies. We know that how valuable it is in nursing school or in general. If you're a nurse, you want to maybe troubleshoot the breakdown, the critical thinking of a patient that you have crashing or somebody that has DKA and understand the disease process. And for nursing students, that helps them gain those thinking skills of what happens in the disease process. We're going to have some case studies and the debriefs in between having guests on the show and, keep this little series going.
I think that'd be cool because it's going to be a little like, we're not nursing, but we still got to think like nurses. So we're still working on our nursing skills. We should
great way to refresh the skills.
We should say that that's our CE for the year. Maybe we could probably send some emails somewhere, work out a situation.
Yeah. Imagine if our videos could be Cs in the future and submitted to some board, because we already had nursing instructors play our videos on YouTube, educating a class. So that'd be the next step.
Yeah, that's super cool. Being training, teaching the future nurses.
Yeah, you'd be a good clinical instructor, man.
So it's pretty nice. I think you'd be a good clinical instructor too.
Thanks.
Yeah. Another thing is if anybody wants to travel to Thailand or anywhere in the Eastern Hemisphere or anywhere really, we could touch a little bit on the process because we had to learn because we've never traveled that far before. We've only traveled to Europe. We never traveled anywhere further east in a sense. So it's more than just getting a passport and flying out there and booking an Airbnb. We had to take into consideration many things. First of all was a visa. So we're going to be staying there for more than 30 days, I believe it was. We're staying there for almost 60. You need a tourist visa. And that's a little bit of process to do because you got to upload a bunch of documents and then you have to wait for this visa to get processed and approved. So it took us, but luckily it didn't take us too long. It took us maybe 4 days before the holidays. Yeah, we got it approved. And so, but still take into mind that if it's maybe a peak season that you're going somewhere, you're going to need to get these visas done ahead of time because it might not be 2 or 3 days. It might be a week or two.
Yeah.
Right now, what we're looking into is getting a international driver's license. Might be beneficial. We're not planning on getting a car, but we might. If anything, we're just gonna roam around with scooters. I think that should be enough. We're not gonna be able to go far with them, but worst case scenario, it might be nice to get a car, but we'll see. So we get that, and then before you can even go there and get approved for that visa, like I mentioned before, you have to show some kind of a proof that you're going to actually be staying there. So we actually had to download some documents from our Airbnb saying that, hey, they're going to be staying there from this day to this day. And that's like proof because they don't want you to just come in there and just figuring stuff out from there. If you're doing a hotel, they'll provide the same documents for you. If you're staying at a friend's place over there, they got to provide some documentation as well. I'm not sure what's it called, but just being mindful that you have to have that before you can get the visa in the first place.
Yeah. And just like nursing, be aware that you might have some adversity and obstacles to overcome. Just like in the beginning, before we even did the visas, our Airbnb got canceled. We had to find another Airbnb with that same pricing, or maybe you're planning a trip with a few friends, somebody cancels and you already booked the Airbnb. What happens then? So just be aware when you're traveling and doing things like that. And of course, is the Kingdom of Thailand. It's a different currency. When you go for longer trips, cash is king. You have the USD dollar here in America, so take some cash with you. It makes a difference.
Yeah, and then speaking of cash, this also has some upfront costs. You buy the plane ticket, so roughly the plane ticket, if you book maybe at least a month ahead of time, like 1,500, 1,600, ballpark wise. Housing wise, there's 5 of us going. There's 5 of us going. Yeah, 5 of us going. 4, 5. There's 5 of us going. I can't do the math right now, but housing wise, anywhere from maybe 2 to 3K a month, individually, just to be safe. And that's the upfront cost. So the upfront cost is anywhere from like 4,000 to 5,000. That's for 2 months. That's like a month's rent in California.
Yeah, it's very affordable. Just like you said, the main thing when you're traveling to those further continents in Asia is the plane ticket. So yeah, after that, the cost is a lot less. You could get massages for $7 or maybe meals for $5-10. So the cost of living evens yourself out. And also traveling. If you don't like traveling long distances, we have like 27 hours total going this way. I know we have different flights. For example, I'm going to travel 9 hours to Istanbul, have a 9-hour layover, and I'm going to travel from Istanbul to Phuket, which is another 9 hours. You have different flights, so just keep in mind this is long distance. Yeah, grab a good pillow, do your calf exercises so you don't get a blood clot. Just hope for the best.
Luckily, we're travelers, so we know how to pack less.
Yeah.
Because I remember when my parents went to Poland, they had like 2 suitcases plus a carry-on each, and they only went for like 3 weeks. You know? I'm trying to go there for 2 months in one bag. One luggage and then one carry-on and a personal item, so a backpack.
Yeah. Ooh, I just thought about some amazing, great tip there. The Apple AirTags, something you purchase. So a little AirTag tracker, which is like a little GPS, and you put it into your luggage. If you're traveling and having layovers in different countries, what if your luggage gets lost? And you brought up the scenario where they went to Poland, they lost the luggage, they couldn't find it. Not even the airline company knew where the luggage is. But luckily, if you had an air tracker, you could pinpoint where your luggage is if it does get lost.
Yeah. If you've heard of it happen to somebody else that you know, it could probably happen to you.
Just to be on the safe side.
Be on the safe side. Put 2 of them just in case they find one or something.
Yeah. One thing I didn't think about is what if you get hurt in a different country? How is my PPO insurance gonna do out there?
I think you're good, dude. You just leave the country. It doesn't matter.
What if I need to go get an IV and turtle shot or?
Tell them to give you the receipt and you'll pay them, and then just leave the country.
You'll pay the Kingdom of Thailand. I don't know if the government I don't know how healthcare is run there. So it's either we got to pay some private company, cash is king, right? Or we got to pay the Kingdom of Thailand.
Yeah, damn. I didn't think about that, but I think it should be fine. I don't think it's stupid.
Yeah, because one thing is usually Airbnbs are, what is it called? Everything's covered as far as utilities, but in this one we have to pay electricity.
Oh yeah.
And we don't pay the landlord; we pay the Kingdom of Thailand. So we have to figure out where we're gonna have to travel on a little mopeds to pay for electricity to that country.
We probably have to go to City Hall, like, or whatever.
In Polish, the Kontora.
Yeah, maybe we could run for legislation over there.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty cool. You never know. You know.
We'll see what the Cup of Nurses do.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gents, hope you guys enjoyed this debrief. Just like we said, we are opening up our slots to hop on the show, talk about it, and have case studies or your experience in healthcare. So come chat with us. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next debrief.
Yep. See you guys in Thailand. Bye-bye.